So, you wanna be a fighter?
What it is, Jive Turkeys. Welcome back to the Kingdom. You know what's gotten the King excited about the improved striking in UFC 6? Finally being able to do a GOAT justice. They done gave us a legit Anderson Silva to work with, and man, it's been long overdue. But let me tell you something, Turkeys. It was well worth the wait. Now, I've seen quite a few how to use Anderson Silva in UFC 6. I've seen a couple of those videos, and I gotta tell you, I'm not feeling a good portion of it. Don't get me wrong. I'm seeing some good gameplay, some good technique, people winning fights, some solid advice, but I haven't really seen the spider. Now, this might sound a little crazy, but I genuinely think I'm one of the better Anderson Silvas out there. Not because I'm unbeatable, but because I think I'm just chasing something different. I think a lot of people are trying to recreate some of his highlights. I'm trying to recreate the moments between the highlights. That genuine Anderson feel. Because make no mistake about it, Anderson Silva was a feeling. And up until those two Weidman fights that kind of killed his mystique and broke his leg, it really didn't matter who he fought. He was gonna get the W. It just depended on what Anderson showed up. Some nights he'd slowly dissect you like he was using you as a sharpening tool for his technique. Other nights he kind of just looked offended, like he couldn't believe you were standing in front of him, like you had the audacity to show up for your fight. And then he just decided to take your head off. And then of course there was that fight against Chael Sonnen where we kind of saw Anderson face the most adversity he probably ever faced up until that point, and he still pulled it out the fire. But that just goes to show you, I don't think there's one correct, absolute way to use Anderson. Not to sound too cliche, but the man literally embodied Bruce Lee and was literally like water. But that unpredictability, confidence, and the ability to become whatever the fight demanded, that was Anderson Silva. But if you ask me what my favorite version was, it wasn't the spinning kicks. It was an Anderson who just looked bored. Hands down, head moving, making elite fighters miss by inches and looking at you like you stupid, making them frustrated, making them question whether they even wanted to throw. That is the GOAT. That is the version that I fell in love with. That's the version I grew up watching. And that is what I'm trying to recreate every time I step into the octagon in UFC 6, no matter who I'm facing. I'm definitely still learning some of the inputs because some things have changed and I believe they're different per fighter. So you're definitely gonna see me make some mistakes. I probably didn't switch stances as much as I should have. You're probably gonna see me hit the wrong input a few times. But give me time. The goal isn't just to win. The goal is to make my opponent stop fighting their fight. If I could make a Sean Strickland player start wrestling because he can't really do much to me, then I gotta say I think I'm doing the Spider some good justice here. Now this fight had me plugged into the Matrix. Well, on and off you could say. Normally if I'm trying to simulate Anderson, I don't do too much during that first minute because that's his collection of data. Anderson never really did much in the first minute because like I said, he was making reads. And if I'm being honest, this is how you should approach every ranked fight. You should be making reads. Not that you should be, inactive for the first minute, but make your reads. So I'm just checking him out, seeing how he reacts after misses, and seeing where I can assert myself, assert my dominance, where I can use my spider sense per se. This Izzy player, he came out like he had something to prove. So I had to speed up the process, the data collection. I just had to start mixing up my counterfighting with something I call the door stopper offense. Basically, every time he thought he found an opening, door shut. Every time he thought I was just sitting there waiting, door shut. A jab straight, 1-2 combo, quick kick, body kick. Not always to hurt him, sometimes just to interrupt the idea, interrupt his momentum, his rhythm, his flow, just to get him thinking. That's when they stop fighting naturally, once they start thinking. And that's exactly where Anderson want the people. And honestly, with these graphics looking so good, I couldn't help but get immersed, and I started thinking about the real Anderson versus Adesanya fight. Then my mind kind of went, what if Anderson was 10 years younger? What if this wasn't the farewell version of Anderson when they fought? The Spider that ruled the middleweight division. Now, before anybody gets in the comments, I'm not saying this is what would have happened. I'm saying this is how Anderson always believed it would happen. He even said it himself. In his prime, he beats Izzy. So these next couple of minutes, that was a picture I had in my head. I kind of try to flow with it and pretty much just live vicariously through Anderson. I'm trying to make this Adesanya player feel like he's actually in the octagon with Anderson the Spider Silva. I'm trying to create that experience. Because when this game is played in a certain way, you cannot help but get immersed. This is a very beautiful game. I know EA gets a lot of hate, and you know what? It's not really warranted for UFC 6. Sure, it could be improved. Sure, there's things that need to be smoothed out. Sure, the submission and grappling system could be revamped, and the damn flow state visuals need to get scrapped. But damn it, this game is beautiful. Now notice how I basically stifled his offense. He's just not really reacting to much. He's kind of just reacting to the possibility of my counters. That's a completely different fight. That's the effect I'm trying to recreate. Not just Anderson's offense, his presence. People always talk about Anderson's knockouts and spider-like abilities. I think what made him truly special happened before the knockout ever came. He made people doubt themselves. And once that happened, the fight was already starting to slip away. Whether I captured that or not, y'all can be the judge. But if this made you feel like for even a few moments you were watching the Spider, then I think we did him justice.